Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Meylana Wulandari and my registration number is A1M219095. In this time, I want to continue the presentation, and now I will explain about result and discussion. So, in this study, the researchers uh, the researchers divided to cycle 1 and cycle 2. In cycle 1, it is the initial implementation of speaking learning research by using the group discussion method. The first cycle of action consists of four stages, namely planning, implementing, or action, observation, and reflection. The planning cycle 1 was carried out by the researcher developed learning strategies by involving peers and process learning speaking skills to explain orally the description of the topic from the results of reading the news will be planned using the method of investigation group. And observation in cycle 1 were carried out collaboratively, and the teacher takes action at SMA Negeri 1 Poiger Balmong, and researchers and peers make observation by recording the events of the teaching and learning process using sheets or observation guidelines that have been prepared. There are several activities that have not been implemented or are still not suitable with the learning implementation plan in the ability process. Speaking using the group investigation learning model in Sec 1. That include first teacher's apperception in applying the learning model. Teacher don't use the media improving material. The teacher does not give confirmation of the results of group presentation. The teacher does not reflect learning the involved students. The teacher does not conclude the material learning that has been given to students. The observation of student attitudes in implementing the process learning in cycle 1 as follows. First, students tend to be inactive at times discussion process. Second, student students are still shy in expressing their opinions, and third, students are less enthusiastic about being in the respective groups. In cycle 2, was carried out by the researcher and colleagues discussed in preparing and the instrument used to observe the learning activities that will be carried out. Apart from that, researchers will also hold discussion with the teacher about things or activities that are not yet realized in cycle 1 so that it can be maximized again in cycle 2. The implementation of the second cycle was carried out at SMA Negeri 1 Poiger Balmong, allocation of time used to meeting. Observation cycle 2 focus on aspects that have not been realized in cycle 1. These aspects include observation of abilities teacher, student attitudes, and the ability of student. Uh, to adjust the content of the conversation, use proper pronunciation, intonation, dictation, and fluency in the process. The data shows that in the process, the data shows that the ability to customize the content with topics as well as the use of pronunciation, intonation, dictation, and fluency have achieved results, which is very satisfying. It can be seen that it has exceeded the KKM, which is 75% in each aspect. But it can be concluded that investigation method groups can improve the speaking skill of class 10 MIA 1 SMA students Negeri 1 Poiger Bolmo, learning to discuss using the group investigation method. And discussion is the presentation of the results of a research process either. In cycle 1, there are several activities has not been implemented or is still not in accordance with the uh, RPP. Uh, Teacher ability, what has not been seen in cycle 1 is that the teacher has been doing appreciation for too long. Meanwhile, in applying the method, it is still not sequential, so students get confused while doing their group work. In cycle 1, the use of media that has not uh, has not been carried out, and there are no closing activities due to limited time allocation, lack of classroom management, and not there are closing activities given to students about the learning process that has been done. Second, in the discussion, and second discussion is in the first cycle, student attitudes in implementing the process learning tends to be inactive during the discussion process. There are still students bushy with himself and joking. There were still students who just stayed put his group and did not help. However, in cycle 2, it has experienced enhancement. Next, in cycles 1 and 2, the student ability to adjust the content to topic already achieved good results because the topic convert are the things which is close to the daily life of students, so that students do not feel strange with a given topic. The use of pronunciation in cycle 1 still exists in the unsatisfactory category because there are many errors in indentation vowels or consonants in certain words, and students still fixed on the local language or colloquial language. But once done evaluation that in cycle 2, the selection of dictation by student is get better, that mention of religion language is not longer used. In cycle 1, students tend to shy in speaking, so that the intonation in speaking is not clear between sentence, question, or statement. But in the second cycle, it's a start increase, although there were some students the time still speaking some and with loud fluency. When speaking is actually very much related to expert previously, because the ideas presented would be easy to accept if the content which is spoken fluency, and accordingly then the pronunciation and intonation is clear, as well selection of the right diction. The first cycle ideas are confused in sentence has not achieved a satisfactory result, has increased in cycle 2. This is related to increase in content, pronunciation and intonation, and diction used by students in each cycle. The application of the group investigation method to learning confused orally. The result of reading in class 10 MIA 1 are divided into two learning cycles. The observed aspect include ability students and adjusting the content of the conversation, as well as the use of pronunciation, intonation, diction, and fluency by students. The result of assessment of this aspect group again. I think that's enough of my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.